no, yeah, no, no, for you, pictures. That's like someone's view.
So yeah, it does need some adjusting. Right, hold on everybody. Hello everybody. Alright. Okay, what's up everybody? It's your boy Brownie here, and welcome to the Brownie Tray, where we will get to know your favorite Tekken streamers or players and many more in the future. This will be the very first episode, and I would like to thank everyone who supported me on this. So let's get it started, shall we? For the first episode of the Brownie Tray, I'm honored to be joined by the Hwoarang Professor, the sensei of the Cheese Dojo, and the real charcuterie owner of the charcuterie board, Mr. Frontier. What's up, man? Oh no.
Yeah, what's up?
There's the adjusting that we need to do.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it. It's growing pains, man. It's growing pains.
Yeah, it's growing pains, alright. Let me just put it here. Limao. Oh, apparently they saw my notepad. that's so funny. I'm sorry, guys. I guess it's probably nerves. I guess it's most likely nerves. So what's up, my guy? Like, so so as I mentioned before, like this is the time where we'll be getting to know you more, and maybe just as a player of the Tekken community or even other communities as well. So first off, like, who is Frontier? Like,
he loves cheese. Let's put that. Number one.
he loves
Loves cheese. Gaming cheese in particular, right?
Mm-mm.
So I don't know. Frontier is just a guy who plays video games for the most part, right?
Yeah. So where did the theme of the cheese came from? Like, how did that come from? Where did that come from?
Oh, it was a long time ago, because I think it was like early season 1 or season 2 of Tekken, where very few very few of us were like streaming and creating content. So I remember L was
Baba Booey.
streaming
Mm-hmm.
consistently over in Twitch. Yeah.
Mhm.
And one of my favorite emotes there in Twitch was the stinky cheese.
Oh,
So every
right, I
time I dropped by
remember.
on a stream, any stream for that matter, I would always put stinky cheese, stinky cheese, stinky cheese.
Uh-huh.
So that became like the thing that got attached to me the most. And you're like, cheese, I don't get it, but okay. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna keep that.
I think everyone there don't get it. What's with the cheese? Like even when we made a group for the Twitch people, like that's all you send. Like it's just cheese. Like oh, I wonder what that means. Like is it like just stinky or is like merely just cheese or something? Oh
The
yeah.
emote just looked. It's cute. Like if you even see the Hwoarang one, that
Mm-hmm.
the Hwoarang cheese.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of which, when did you started playing Tekken, and when did you started playing it seriously?
So I've said this multiple times on stream. I think I got asked this question a couple of times as well there. So I did start playing Tekken, I think, when I was a kid. That was like Tekken 3, Tekken 2 on the PS1.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a long, long time ago. Then competitively, that was late Tag 2. So that's like roughly around 2015, 2016. I mean, that's when we got the Tekken 7 Vanilla
Mm-hmm.
arcade as well.
Mm-hmm.
Was the only time I actually started learning the game. So before that point, I only knew that hell sweeps were launchable. I didn't know anything that was punishable on standing. I just knew all those you could punish with a wall standing 4, and if it staggers, you do a wall standing 2 with Jin. Yeah,
Was Jin your first main?
it was my first main back in. I was actually just copying my brother for the most part. So my brother,
Mm-hmm.
me and my brother would play Tekken,
Mhm.
and he used Jin. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna copy my brother. I'm gonna use Jin. It made my job a lot easier. I didn't have to learn another character. I was just looking up to my brother. And then come Tekken 5, that was when my brother was like, okay, I want to be more special. Right? I don't want to be like both of us are Jin. So he swapped over from Jin to Asuka, and I stuck with Jin for quite a while
Mm-hmm.
until I started playing Law. Law felt pretty good to play back in Tekken 5, 6. But the main reason why I started playing Law is because right in Tekken 4, Jin was a locked character. You had to unlock him.
Oh yeah,
So
in Tekken
I was
4,
like,
yeah.
it's like, who do you play then? My main character that I play is not here. So I was like, okay, Law. I didn't like anyone else there. So I picked Law.
Mhm.
And I got used to Law.
Mm.
And Tekken 5 was like, okay, Law or Jin. Now I had like that versatility, right? You can start picking between one or two characters. Like, oh, so like early back then, you're like already having that advantage of like matchups or like comfortability with a main and a secondary.
Mhm. Mm. So, what Law is like? I never expected like that. Like, I mean, Jin, yeah, I could expect that, but like Law, like, isn't that like? It's usually Law is like my counter pick against Hwoarangs, honestly. Like, mas lalo na kapag mapindot, like you know the usual down 2-3.
Easy.
Like, that one's like a fun one. Okay. So you've started playing Tekken, and what got in you to like to start streaming and like to teach people? Like, even though despite you said you said that you started taking it seriously like during Tag 2, is that if I'm correct?
A late tag to
Late Tag 2,
dying.
and I'm kind of envious because like you already know a lot about the game than me, and I played this game like or like I don't know 8-10 years already, and I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. So like it's kind of inspiring like to see you teaching people how to use Hwoarang. Like where did that stem from? Like I know like I think most likely you started streaming because you want to teach people. Is that but is there other reason for why you just wanted to stream?
Well, like if you look at the player's career path, right? There's
Yeah.
like, so if you want to become an esports player, you want to get, have a profession in esports. There's like multiple ways. You can be a player, you can be a creator, you can be a streamer, you can be one of the staff, and of course, staff has like a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just asking myself, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you just recently graduated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, maybe I should, take it a little bit more seriously,
Mm-hmm.
compete, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, right? Okay, you could do something else while you're competing. And I was also out of shape during that time, so I was like, okay, I need to get back in shape too. So mentally, creating these open Hwoarang lessons, so to speak, help remind myself as well of my Hwoarang for the most part, because it is a general kit for the most part with some cheese flavor in it. So it helps remind me like, oh, what was I supposed to do here again? Like, let's say okizeme or a certain combo. Oh, you can do this. All right. Thank you for reminding. Like, it's like me giving myself the medal to myself. Like, good job. Thank you for reminding me.
Honestly, like I started like taking Hwoarang a bit more seriously after you keep posting on Twitter, and then suddenly I've been following like a lot of Hwoarang players as well, and then like my whole feed in Twitter is like full of Hwoarang
Oh.
combos, and it was like, come on, bro, why is there no Brian content out there? Like, I
Gotta
mean, I
follow Brian.
mean, I mean, it's not bad. Like, it's actually quite interesting because ever since looking at those videos or those contents, it's like it gave me like the uh yun sa tingin ko lang talaga sa mga Hwoarang mains, it's like they're the most creative people I know when it comes to the game. Like, it's like they're making conversions like out of nowhere, honestly.
Baba
So
Boy.
yeah. Right. So, but with Hwoarang, like, who's the very first person you look at as like, oh, this is the guy I should be watching to learn more about the character?
Off the top of my head, I'm already biased, by the way. So it would be Acellus.
As
Season 1, Hwoarang, that was truly an impressive run. Like what Acellus was able to do with how Hwoarang was configured at that time in Season 1 against other top players. Like I was counting the number of DMs he won versus multiple players. And I was like, that's crazy. You know, his numbers are pretty insane.
From what region is he from?
Korea.
Korea. I only say heard of Acelius when you mentioned him over and over. Like, I actually take a look a little bit of him. Like, damn, this guy is super good. Like, oh no, he knows what he's really doing. I was like, how do I do this? Like, whoa, is that even possible or something? Like, there's so many things in Hwoarang despite like the only way there's like ways to win with Hwoarang, like, oh, you can, if the person or the opponent just like not do anything, you can just punish it with like down 3-4 and then keep going and going and like ooga booga caveman brain, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's what
That can
I
apply
do.
like to all characters. I mean, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, that applies to like all characters. Again, always comes from like adjusting to your opponent and what kind of reactions they're giving you for the most part. And what's good about Hwoarang is that you are forced for the most part to, you know, focus on information gathering. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna be throwing out strings left and right that aren't necessarily moving the game state anywhere.
And also this, I've always wanted to know about this question. People see you as
Baba
a
Boy.
Hwoarang loyalist. Do you accept that?
It's more or less true. I don't know.
Let's see.
What else is there?
I mean, like, because I've seen, I mean, you've been doing this Road to Blue Cheese recently. So, most likely, those characters that you use for Road to Blue Cheese, who is most likely you would be your other pick for a tournament?
Depends, because right, you know that I don't play Jin anymore, right?
Eternal
Eternal
Suzaku.
I actually did bring out Jin 2 to 3 times in tournament
Mhm.
back in 2018. And I was never really practicing the character for the most part because my main secondary group there during that time was Hwoarang Miguel. And I didn't even bring out Miguel that many times in tournament. It's probably even roughly the same number as Jin, probably 2 to 3 times as well. It's always been Hwoarang, 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 Hwoarang.
Like, your Miguel is actually solid compared to your other subs. Well, for me at least, because I think the last time I played your Miguel, I couldn't even touch you a single bit. like, what? Why is he so... Ba't ang kunat?
It's also really far from like my Hwoarang. Like,
yeah.
if Miguel looks that impressive, the gap between him and Hwoarang is just too big. That's why, you know, I think again, practice your secondaries, you're gonna have to play them, right? So for the most part, that even means even playing in high stakes tournaments or like even minor tournaments for the most part, you have to run the secondary the whole way because the only way to get better with the character for the most part is going to be, getting experience and putting yourself in that situation.
And also, I want to know your reaction on this. Probably you could give him like a shout out, or if you want to, because Coach Pika, he gets questions about loyal character loyalty, and the person he usually brings up is you, and he says like he respects you for keep playing Hwoarang. Well, have you ever like saw that part of his stream when he mentions it, and what's your reaction since it's from the Coach Pika?
I don't know. Like, me, again, what else is there to say? Like, I do play Hwoarang all the time. Like, it's nothing. It's not new information for the most part. And I would also say I'm limited by the fact that I am playing Hwoarang. Because again, the gap between Hwoarang and Miguel is too big for me to even consider using Miguel more often than Hwoarang in high level, like really, really high level competition. I mean, it also speaks to like, the dedication and willingness to like innovate and be creative with the character. So it's like much thanks, for the most part. But I don't get to catch most of the streams because I think it happens around 10, right? It happens around 10 in the evening now.
Sometimes
that's
it's
usually
random nowadays.
Yeah.
And
So I don't usually get to catch it as often anymore.
All right. So since you were also once like well, actually you're probably still is a competitive player right now. So far, who's your toughest opponent from past experiences?
Do we mean toughest opponent in a single set in the tournament or like long-standing rival, like red versus blue,
now
Ash versus Gary? That kind of
now
stuff.
I'm curious. Like, how about both? Now I'm
How
curious.
about both? I don't know, man. I haven't played enough people multiple times to like, yes, this is truly my rival. In a single tournament, there's a good number of matches I can, look back to that. Like, yeah, this was a really, really tough match. Of course, naturally, if you say high-profile players, without a doubt, those matches are going to be tough. Like, my match against Book in Evo Online 2021. That was that was an insane set. I was really happy with my performance there.
Actually, I saw that. That was so close, dude. Like, what could you have done there better? Do you think there's something there that you could have done? I don't know.
Not at that point in time with what I was doing. There's probably some wrong guesses here and there, and probably a couple of missed opportunities. But for the most part, I was happy with the set. Like I was happy with the way I performed. Like
you guys went like 2-1 and went both to final round, right?
Yeah, I went all final round 2-1.
That's from with Book. Damn, that's super rough. So right now, currently, you're with your current state with your Tekken right now, since it got corrupted. What are you gonna get back to streaming Hwoarang on Road to Blue Cheese?
No.
No.
No, it'd be too easy.
Shit!
That defeats the purpose of Road to Blue Cheese.
All right.
What makes Road to Blue Cheese interesting for the most part is that I'm not playing Hwoarang, and it also gives me the opportunity to learn characters or play characters I've never played before. And there are advantages to playing multiple characters. So you want to play multiple characters, learn more, and expand the information you have around Tekken, and then eventually bring it back over to the main.
That's isn't that like what do you call this? Kind of hard, like to like, since for me I play Brian a lot, and there are every time I try a new character, it's like super hard to get used to them, like to the point that I give up. The only person that I got some success was just Lydia, Leo, and again recently Noctis, but I tried everyone else and I can't seem to like what helps you like adjust well? Because I see you, like, you always adjust so quickly. Like, or you say, oh, he does that when I'm on the wall and yada yada yada. Um, are you more? I can see that you are more of an analytical player, and when using other characters, how does it like translate to? Do they translate to your Warren gameplay? Like if you're using different characters.
Well, for the most part, when you play another character, a lot of your skills should transfer over, right?
Mm.
So naturally, the comfortability playing another character won't be there. Like what you said, Brian didn't. It didn't feel right. It didn't hit right, right?
Mm-mm.
It wasn't the same. We didn't
Mm-mm.
have the same flavors of
Mm-mm.
cheese or whatever. And it's the same. Like when I went out of Hwoarang looking for a secondary, it was very difficult to find one. So even if you can look at characters on paper, like okay, if I can play this character, I should be able to play this character.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to again also factor the fact that how are you built as a player?
Mm-mm.
What stuff do you focus on? What's your decision making and all that kind of stuff. But the universal skills stick around. So after you figured out how you are as a player and on paper which character would fit you next the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Universal skills such as execution, defense, decision making
Mm-hmm.
should all more or less be retained.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what carries me a lot when playing in Road to Blue Cheese with other characters like Anna, Leroy. The universal skills
Mm-hmm.
don't disappear. Yes, they'll drop in level a little bit because I'm not on my comfort pick or a character I'm more comfortable with and knowledgeable with. But you can build that up. You have a good enough baseline, but at least get to a specific level, whatever that level that is you're targeting. And for a Road to Blue Cheese, that's hitting Fujin, right?
Yeah. But when is the road to Emperor? When never. Also.
Let me place second in the tournament first, then maybe Road to Emperor will happen. I don't know.
What's your highest standing in a tournament ever?
It was a long, long time ago. I think it was around, when was it? 2019?
Oh.
I think it was the tournament Dojin held. It's called Beden Arena.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think I placed sixth there.
Oh yeah, that's crazy, dude. Like, I think I remember like there's a lot of top players there as well. Or
Yeah.
or is just like full on San Beda students.
Oh no, it was a mixture of South players for the most part. So you had the guys like you had Pika, you had Old Standard, you had Jules, you had the guys from Cavite, and then KND when KND was still a thing.
Oh,
So there's a lot of players,
Well,
and then Master J was also there.
Master J was there. Damn. And everybody loves Master J. Shoutouts to you, man. So what is? I was curious. Like, what's your current team right now? Like, do you have like a team, or are you not like you don't want to commit to another team right now?
I'm not affiliated or part of a team at the moment. I was previously. So the timeline was KND.
Mm-hmm.
That was like all the way back in Tag 2, all the way up to Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometime in between Season 4, I was Crimson Wolves to Apple Esports.
Oh yeah, I remember that. What happened with that? Like, is that like a sponsor kind of thing, or just like a team that we
Was.
just? Oh really? That's nice. That's so cool. That's cool. It's cool. So, since the offline scene is now booming again, or like slowly going back. Like, I think Playbook is open right now. Do you
Oh,
think
yeah.
do you think you'll be going back to offline pretty soon?
For Tekken 7?
Yeah, or even other games if you want.
Oh, I mainly play Tekken.
Yeah.
So, like, going out there to play other games isn't necessarily high on my priority list.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would say probably no, like a 90% no. If it was Tekken 8, I'd probably drop that to like 50%.
Mm-hmm. Really? But I know you play other games, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
I don't know what's that called, but there's like some anime characters there, and I think you played BlazBlue, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, I did.
Yeah. So
Oh,
how?
I didn't play Blaze Blue, right? I didn't play Blaze Blue Central Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I played Blaze Blue Cross Tag
Oh,
Battle.
cross. I can't escape the crossing fate.
Yeah, I can't escape from.
Like, How did you fare there? Like,
Oh, not bad.
not bad.
Not
Like,
bad at all.
really, because it's kind of hard to like, move from Tekken to other 2D games. Because I struggle with 2D. Like, no matter what 2D that is, all I
Well,
can
it's a
do is
slightly different game.
yeah,
Right?
slightly yes.
It's a slightly different game. It's more or less still the
Mhm.
same games. 'Cause again, it's a fighting game, right?
Mhm.
So you're moving from Tekken, which is a 3D fighting game, to either Street Fighter, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Persona. Those are 2D
Mhm.
fighting games. Now, of course, in 2D fighting games, there's like other sub genres. Like for BB Tag, that's like an anime fighter, right?
Mhm.
More crazy stuff, more mobility. And for Street Fighter, it's like more grounded type of gameplay, right?
Mhm.
But for the most part, what all fighting games share are the same principles,
Mhm.
are the same skills.
Mhm.
So everything you have from Tekken, yes, sidestepping can't necessarily be applied to 2D, but you
Mhm.
can apply it in a different way because sidestepping is more or less knowing when to step against a certain move or a certain situation. So in 2D, that could be knowing when to DP, knowing when to backdash, knowing
Mhm.
when to jump, knowing when to anti-air,
Mhm.
etc. It's just a different thing. So you're just transposing a lot of the stuff you learned from Tekken over to 2D fighter you're going to be playing. Yes, it's going to be a struggle because again, you're not comfortable with it. It's the same thing with like playing another character within the same game. Of course, this one would have a like higher
Mm.
difficulty.
Yeah. Like, I think I tried Street Fighter, and the best I can do is like a low kick to Hadouken. It's like,
It's
oh
okay. That's all I can
no,
do too.
like what else is there? Like
That's all I
how,
can do as well.
like like for me, like I respect every 2D player because everything that's there is so hard to see. Like, even their most punishable move is so fast. Like, it's not like Tekken, like, oh, you can visually see this move coming out other than just, oh, you read the opponent. And also, in terms of combos, like in 2Ds, like sometimes it looks like it's gonna hit but it's not, but in Tekken it will hit because it's on more of a 3D space. So yeah, that's more of like what I respect about 2D players. It's speaking of other games. If you weren't playing Tekken right now on your streams, what would you stream? Like, is there other games you were interested, or at least thought of like streaming?
And that's difficult
Mm-hmm.
because if we go back to the reason why I kind of started doing this, like,
Mhm.
aside from reminding myself and
Mhm.
looking for more avenues to get into esports,
Mm-hmm.
it's what you said earlier with regards to like Brian resources.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely any Hwoarang resources.
Mm-hmm.
The point that when I was learning the game from Tag 2 to 7, I literally was only using match VODs for the most part. I
Yeah.
can only grab information from there, and then I'd have to double test everything, lab everything,
Mhm.
and then play it myself, double check again. You go repeat the process. Yes, there was Baska's videos.
Mhm.
There's just Baska and a couple of others who don't regularly upload Hwoarang specific content. So that was one of the major things I wanted to do. Like, okay, people can't find Hwoarang content, so I gotta see if all the knowledge I've gathered and accumulated from these like 5 years of playing the game
Mhm.
and condense it to like 10 to 15 minutes. So playing another game, I don't know because in other games, I didn't sacrifice and give my time
Mm.
to those games to get to this level. So I don't know if I have anything worth sharing because even when you start out early as a creator, content creator, streamer, whatever, you have to be giving value to your audience. Like, okay, what is the thing? What do you have on the table that's interesting to me as a viewer?
Mm.
And personality does work. But you have to grab the audience first and then they have to feel you out, right?
Mhm.
So that's not going to help you get discovered immediately, not unless you're collaborating with someone big and stuff like that. Like, just many layers to it. So you start out small, like, okay, searchable content, or what are people looking for? What do people don't know? What's not there on the market that I can potentially fill in? So for other games, I don't know if I could even do that.
Well, I mean, like, so you aim to stream with the purpose of like teaching someone. Is that it?
It was mainly getting those resources out there
Mm-hmm.
because it was mainly contained to like the Hwoarang Discord, the Hwoarang Academy.
Mm-hmm.
I would put all the resources there, like all the small Twitter tech before I went out and like sharing it on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and even all the discussions about the character there. Mainly the player base in that Discord is from the West, but it doesn't mean it isn't valuable information that you could absorb and then test for yourself and see what works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's mainly it, like getting those resources out there, and then hopefully improving the average skill level of the local scene or even the scenes outside my reach for the most part.
Well, I gotta give you some thanks for that because I got Hwoarang because of your videos. like literally,
No, it's
like everything that I do, I with Hwoarang, I try to redo it from what you send on Twitter. It's like, oh shit, like this setup is so cool. Like, so Ooga Booga doesn't work.
No, it does. You just have to know when, right? It's like
I
what Chester
guess.
said. If you stick around long enough with the cheese,
Mm-mm.
you will end up getting infected by the cheese. So you're gonna play some Hwoarang eventually. You're gonna try it. You're like, damn, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, but for some reason I'm still like stuck with Divine Ruler with Hwoarang. But hey, it's far. It's far. It's better than Suzaku.
Oh wow!
Sorry, I just I can't. I just had to do. I'm sorry, I had to do you.
I only have 4 streams, man. I only got 4 streams to make him hit Fujin. If I could spend like a year, that would easily hit Fujin without a doubt. Even just 3 months.
Yeah, but in all
Yeah.
honesty, I can't reach Suzaku with Jin either. I mean, like 1 rank away to reach there.
Dare you?
So, okay, let's see if there's any question from the comments. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have any questions for Mr. Frontier, I'll be giving the questions to him, or if he sees something interesting,
Oh yeah,
feel
going back
free.
to what it is,
uh,
the why I do this.
mm-mm.
How many anti-Hwoarang resources out there? It's a good number, but I feel like a good number of them also repeat the same stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not Hwoarang players
Mm-hmm.
telling you what to do. Well, not all of them are. I mean, I've checked out a lot of these resources, anti-Hwoarang resources. They're good,
Mm-hmm.
but some of them do miss certain points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like being able to fill that. See, you don't necessarily have to be the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to fill in certain gaps in demand.
Mhm.
You know. And since you hit Divine Ruler, right? Like you understand Hwoarang a little bit more. Again, that becomes the
Yeah.
advantage of playing other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like Leroy's dangerous, without a doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Yeah.
Top 5 character. I don't think chat's even gonna disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I dislike Leroy. Not because he's strong,
Same.
but because I can't play him.
I mean, you're getting there. I see you.
So if anything, no, from the 4 Road to Blue Cheese, so it's 4 streams, right? For
Yeah.
1 character.
Uh-huh.
Leroy is the longest character it took to hit Fujin.
Mhm.
Actually, he shouldn't have even hit Fujin because I was supposed to not get an opponent in the last 2 to 3 minutes before it hit early 12 midnight.
Mhm.
I have This is not Edward to thank for that, to like be able to hit Fujin because he was gonna get stuck at eternal ruler.
Mm-hmm. Eternal ruler. That's forever, bro.
That's forever, double forever.
Yeah.
His toolkit doesn't work with me.
Mhm.
So all the more I dislike him. And I wouldn't know that if I didn't play him because I'll only have that perspective of anti-Leroy, like anti-this, anti-that. Like if you look at Hermit, for example,
Mhm.
this might be a little bit of a hot take,
Uh-huh.
but Hermit doesn't feel that strong to me as a Hwoarang player.
Mhm.
Because as a Hwoarang player, if I press down 3-4 on hit,
Mhm.
I have multiple options that are safe and can transition more pressure or to like offensive neutral or even put myself in a defensive position.
Mm-hmm.
Leroy, if I press down 3-2, the fastest option I have is like a Hermit 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I do Hermit 4, it's that on block. Oh, it's interruptible. They can interrupt me. Yes, I have a parry, right? And a lot of people in chat were laughing at me for not using the parry.
I'm one of them.
Like that's timing based. I'm not about to risk it. Like if I don't
Yeah.
have the read,
Yeah.
it's worked for other Leroy players, right? So what works for them works for them.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's not gonna work. So
Baba Booey.
if I do Hermit 4, what do I do? Cancel out of Hermit. Okay. Did you know down 3 of Leroy is shorter than Hwoarang down 3?
Really? I thought they were like practically the same.
It's like that.
Like just
Difference is like it's like that.
like
It's
3
very-
units away.
really, really small. And Hwoarang LFS down 3 is longer than his LFF down 3.
Yeah. And
My
I think
major complaint with the character is that he's not Hwoarang.
pero isn't like
He's like Hermit strong. Like, Hermit strong, right? On the defensive side, if Leroy does Hermit 4,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait. I'm not about to risk anything. I can get parried. I can get Sabaki.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hermit 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can get counter hit launched. Would that be Hermit back 1, Hermit F4? Well, Hermit F4 is a natural launcher. Hermit back 4, right? That's the best. That's a really good low. Just a Yoshimitsu low, except not launch punchable.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the auto parry on lows for Hermit, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those options don't create more pressure frame wise. It's a lot mental than anything else. And from the 4 streams I've done with Leroy, there's so much challenging. No, yes, of course, the parry would come in handy there. But when I press the parry, they wait. Oh no. Then I get launched or I get punished, I get knocked down, I'm back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
So it was difficult to be like his offense to me, yes, it's good, but it's not built for the way I like playing the game. It's like, on paper and even playing against it, it's just like fine. Hey, yeah, Hermit 3-4 as well. That's like the LFS down 3-4 stand switch LFS down 3-4, right? Hermit down 3-2, Hermit 3-4, and then you down 3-2 again, Hermit 3-4, right? But that's 0 on hit. See, that's another problem for me. Hermit 3-4 is 0 on hit.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
No, technically there isn't nothing you can do. You can do a jab, you can do the 1-1, keep them locked in, and then of course you can confirm into 1+2, 1+2.
Uh-huh.
You can do DF1, you can do back 1, and you can do back 1+2. You're at the perfect range to do those stuff. Or you can parry, or orbital, whatever floats your boat, depending on what the opponent's doing, right? But since it's 0 on hit, you're left in that iffy situation.
Yeah.
Iffy situations are usually like from -3 to +3, because that's where you can freely challenge, so to speak, rather than something that's like +9 to like -2 +7. There's like no way you're going to be challenging that if you're -9 or -7. If you're challenging that, you are literally challenging that. But in -3 to +3, you have free reign to challenge. Your opponent actually has to maximize their plus frames if they want you to like stop pressing. You want to condition to them. Please respect the frames, right? For the most part. So at 0, there's not much I can really. Well, again, I can press buttons, but for the most part, I always get hit or interrupted. And I'm like, okay.
I think
See
it's gonna be
I'm
like more
adjusting.
of a mental kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. See, it's a lot more mental than anything else. Because if I do Hwoarang down 3-4, let's say I want to copy one of the frames in terms of frames on paper for Leroy. So if Hermit 3-4 is 0 on hit, the closest thing I have to 0 on hit is either RFS 1-2 or LFS 2-2, which is the 10 hit mid high, or RFS DF4, which is +1 on block. Now, in those situations, if I do the 10 hit in left flamingo or right flamingo, I always end up in RFF. Now in RFF, I can do RFF back 4, which high crushes and launches. I can do backlash, personal favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
Oh, not really. Twitter would disagree. Or a down jab. Well, I mean, you could do that with Leroy as well. You could do a down jab. You can high crush, low crush for the most part. The backlash. I think that's like the major thing, major advantage I get. And then I can also do RFF 2-4,
Mm-hmm.
which I believe is it 10 or 11 frames, one of the two.
Mm.
At least I'm not doing 1-1 into 1+2 check with like that's for Leroy. That's like the max I'm getting, or just a jab check. At least with Hwoarang, in this 0 and hit situation, if I'm going to trade with you
Mm-hmm.
or not trade with you, I'm gonna be at a +7 advantage afterwards anyway. Because if I do RFF 2-4, that I believe it's 10. I can double check the frames later, or if chat has the frames. Like what's an RFF 2 on block, right? Or like what's the startup frames of RFF 2? But I know it's around 10 to 11 for the most part. That means I can go to from 0 to +7 easily, without a doubt. Oh, one of the other gripes is that Leroy doesn't have plus frames. I was spamming running 3 for the most part. The other one was like a forward 1? One of the two. That's +1 only.
I don't
But of
see
course-
you usually use back 1+2 with Leroy.
Short.
Sure.
Yes, it's a very strong move. Again, a lot of this, it's no doubt, again, without a doubt, the character is strong, fundamentally sound, very plays Tekken for the most part. And then some, before he got like
Yeah.
nerfed, right? After
Yeah.
his pre-patch. It's just that, I got so comfortable
with Hwoarang.
with Hwoarang, wherein the frames are in my favor,
Mm-hmm.
in quotation.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always a way out of it, and you can just always hold back for the most part because there's nothing. This is another hot take. Super dangerous for the most part.
Yeah.
Like you're always gonna be checking with a mid or a high.
Mhm.
Yes, you'll continue pressure, but at that point, again, second or third interaction mix up with Hwoarang, you can always challenge or get out.
Mm-hmm.
With Leroy, second to third interactions, yes, you can get out, but at your own discretion.
Mhm.
Don't get hit by a back 1+2. Don't get hit by a back 1. Don't get parried out of nowhere, right? You gotta watch out. So you always have to like keep note of those stuff. While with Hwoarang, it's like 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just watch out for that, right?
Mhm.
Just watch, or don't let him start up this.
Yeah.
Because if Leroy, he doesn't even have to start up, now does he? He's gonna TF1 lock me to death and then just down 2, down back 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I wouldn't have learned that if I didn't play the character.
Mm-hmm.
I would be stuck with the general idea playing against the character with the characters I use. So playing other characters would expand said horizons, so to speak.
And wow, well, honestly, like I've learned a lot from that. Like I didn't even know that the Hermit 3-4 was on 0. Honestly, like I thought it was some kind of like +3 or something. Or maybe that's just maybe it's +3 in my mind. That's
In
where
my mind.
that's
Yes.
the mental frames they're working for you. Like oh god, that was a lot to take in. Though yet for some reason I managed to understand every single bit. So guys, if you guys really want to learn more about Hwoarang, you can just visit his YouTube, Frontier in YouTube. There's a lot of Hwoarang tutorials there, and also for this stream it became a pseudo Leroy Hwoarang learning stream, which is very helpful, like not just for me but even for other peoples as well. So other than the game, like let's say how good are you, how much of a meme guy are you?
Define being a meme guy.
Like like how much do you know your memes like, right now, and how, and do you
You know the
still
Vin Diesel meme?
yeah, like there's this thing that I've wanted to do here for this. It's like, cause me, I'm a guy who laughs a lot, even the slightest thing. So I wanted to challenge you right now to a no laughing challenge.
All right, say no more.
Alright. Let me just pull it up here. Like, I know I'm gonna lose this, but I'm gonna try my best. Let me just pull it up. I didn't.
So while as you're pulling it up, Chester's asking, "What's the secret to long, silky, smooth hair?" Head and shoulders, right? Long silk, one of the two. Take your pick.
Alright.
So, but long hair, but hindi. I know I got lazy. I will eventually get it cut, and then when I get it cut, you're gonna be like, but short hair.
Yeah, I think I remember you with just. I think it's not short hair. It's more of like a medium hair. Like it was like
It was
around.
definitely somewhere. It wasn't this long, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that long, but it was like around here. Like every time I look at your profile pic on Facebook, like that's not you, bro.
That was me. That was
that's
me.
that's not
That
you.
was
Stop,
me.
stop
That was
pulling
me.
my finger here, bro.
Nah, it's me. It's me back in high school. My favorite DP. I have no plans of changing it until I take an updated one, right?
All right, let me just pull this up. Let me just let you see my screen. Oopsies. Oopsies, got it. Hold on.
Baba Bowie.
Let me just. Oops. Let me just fix this real quick. This was more of a spur of the moment kind of thing, honestly. Hold on.
Shampoo reveal, head and shoulders or sun cell. Take your pick. I'll leave it up to your imagination. Schrodinger's shampoo.
Schrodinger's what? It's either dead or alive.
It's either that or this. Take your pick.
What? Oh god. Hold on, can you see the screen, man?
I
Let's
see you perfectly.
damn. Let me see if. Can you see it?
No.
Oh, damn. Oh, I should have tested this. Oh, damn.
Head and shoulders supremacy, indeed.
Alright, FPism. Where did that name come from? Ism. Where did that name come from?
That was because I couldn't use frontier.
You don't want to do Frontier 1 or Frontier 2 and then you find.
No. It's not gonna be. It's not like
So
Frontier 1, Frontier 2. That means that my IGN has to be Frontier 1.
So you can
Hey.
find the guy who's named Frontier and say, "You're the person! It's you!"
So FPSM is literally just a combination of other stuff, like from other areas. So F definitely stands for frontier.
Mhm.
P comes from somewhere else. And then ism is like the Latin word for command.
Mhm.
A frontier blank command.
Mhm.
In literal English sense, that's what the name means.
Damn. Really? Can you still not see my screen?
Nope.
What? How could that happen? Damn, I should have prepared this a bit better. I'm so sorry.
You only learn if you do it.
Yeah.
So for the most part, just like playing other characters, you wouldn't know it until you do it.
yeah.
Same thing with like, when I was doing content creation early in the year,
Mhm.
doing open Hwoarang lessons and Cheese Dojang, those were the main two shows.
Mhm.
There were a lot of stuff in the first few streams where I was like, I could have done this, could have done that.
Mhm.
And you just prepare for that next stream.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Maybe.
do apologize, Frontier, and also to everybody else. This is my first episode, as everyone should know. And eventually, it hopes it gets better from here. But right now, I do appreciate Frontier for keeping it cool here with me, despite now my blunders on the first episode. But I will make sure to make it up to you in the future. Like maybe I've been planning to do some art for you, like, well, not art, it's more of like something that I can edit out, like something more of your brand. I guess I'll put it in the word brand, because like 7 slices of cheese, like I just put perfect and in just cheese form, and they're like coming off of the cheese and stuff like that. So at least that much I would at least show my appreciation, and maybe some more in the future. So I guess this might not work right now. I'm really sorry. Honestly, I'm quite nervous.
It's part of it. I mean, at least again, much thanks, right, for the most part. But for the most part, like, again, you start, you won't know which one is
Yeah.
which until you start doing it. Yes, you could look at other experiences of other people, and you'd be like, okay, so you have a cheat sheet already. You're like, okay, don't do this, do that.
Yeah.
But you won't know it until you do it. Like, you
Yeah.
might make the same mistakes as them. So it's okay. Like, for the most part, with each one, supposedly it starts to improve. But that's per player, right? Same thing.
Mhm.
Player, creator, again, whatever field craft you're doing.
Thank you for the life advices. And speaking of life advices, right now, Like how's life treating you? Like you said, you graduated. Like, if you don't mind me asking, like for people to know you more than just a player, like, how you been doing the past years ever since quarantine? Like, what other than streaming, what have you been doing?
Same old. Like
Same
what?
old.
Ever soon as as soon as I get home, play, sleep, eat.
Quarantine or
Watch.
not?
So I would say I was lucky
Mhm.
enough to not get affected as much by
Mhm.
the quarantine.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it I also lost. I mean, we as a community lost the offline aspect, and
Yeah.
looking forward to every Friday or every
Mhm.
Saturday, Sunday tournament
Mhm.
is a big part of like the social aspect of playing the game. Because there'd be times where I go to playbook on a Friday, and I won't even play. I'd play one or two sets, and then the
Mhm.
rest of the night I'm not even playing anymore. I'm just chilling with the other, just chilling with the boys or
Yeah.
playing with the other players for the most part,
Mhm.
and just watching other games and talking
Mhm.
about other games, or even not even talking about games for the most part.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an anime, maybe it's the latest Marvel movie,
Mhm.
or food. Like, hey, where do you want to eat? Oh, that's the best part. That was probably one of the best parts of going to FGC Fridays, whether
Yeah.
that be over in Playbook, Gamepad, uh, Secret Base. I haven't been there yet. I do plan to visit soon,
If they
hopefully.
when they open, I think they're closed
Hopefully,
right now. Like, you've been already to Gamepad already.
I got I think 2 or 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
was lucky
see.
enough to at least pass by three
Mm.
times. Because I was for the most part, I'm always staying within my area. Like for the arcade times,
Mhm.
like in 7 Arcade, I
Mhm.
was mainly just staying in town. So that's Alabang Town Center. I was just stuck there. And then if I went outside, sometimes I just went out to Glorieta and Market.
Mhm. Mm. And speaking of community, say during college, did you like meet other Tekken players like immediately? Like let's say like first year of college. I think you studied like in LaSalle, right, or
Yeah,
somewhere
I
in TAF,
did.
right?
I studied in LaSalle,
Yeah.
and I got lucky
Mhm.
again. I
Lucky or
this
fate?
town. Oh, maybe I
You
don't
can't
know.
escape that.
Can't escape crossing it. I don't know. But bro, I got lucky because Gold Standard studied in the same school I did,
Mm-hmm.
and I caught him. I enrolled for the most part at the same time he was still there, and we would play a lot in town. Even back in Tag 2, I didn't know who they were personally. I just
Mm-hmm.
knew them as players.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see that IGN at the upper right
Yeah.
or upper left when you play in Tag 2 or Tekken 7.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for my brother talking to Pika, I wouldn't. I probably would have talked to them later or not have talked to them at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of shy. It goes back to the same. It goes back to the same routine wherein I didn't get affected that much by quarantine because I'm not. I'm not. I don't really go out as much, like to hang or whatever. That's why Fridays or like tournaments were like I always keep them booked. They're like reserved. So like if family's like, we're gonna do something on this day, I'm like, I'm booked. It's my day. It's my
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got lucky in that regard because my brother talked to Pika
Mm-hmm.
during one of those times early in 2016 in town, and I was already enrolled in LaSalle.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time around, since Pika and Kim were already there,
Mm-hmm.
I talked to them and I used my brother as leverage, like a conversation starter. Like, oh yeah, you met my brother, right?
Yeah.
And then they knew who I was. I was like, that to me was a surprise. I was like, oh, they know me. They're like, yeah, it's the Jin guy back from like, for the whole tag 2 duration. Of course, Jin only in town, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm stuck literally to that one location. I was like, oh, that's cool. And
Yeah, it's cool. Like two biggest people in the community knows me. Like, oh, this is cool.
and then like that carried over to LaSalle. So we Gold Standard had this plan of like gathering players within LaSalle, to play games for the
Mm-hmm.
most part and strengthen the community there.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like team battle against FEU quite shortly afterwards. Like we were able to get like how many members? Of course, not all of them were active. I'd say around 20 plus were active members for the most part. A lot of us grew. I'd say a lot of them grew from that kind of environment in terms of like skill level and knowledge of the game. So with that, fast forward to that team battle, it was like 5 of us versus 5 from FEU. The team battle was memorable, memorable team battle because I remember. You remember the Southeast Asian Amateur Cup?
Yeah.
So that was the big one, right? Where
yeah.
you had to make it to top 128.
Is it that
no.
the one? Wait,
128 or 64? For the most part, I believe you had to like get all the way up to a certain point to make it to day 2, right? I was one game away from making it to day 2. So I was pretty salty, naturally. And the week after that, no, not the week after. Wednesday after that weekend of that tournament was our team battle because it was. So university break was still in was it Wednesday? No. University break was Friday, right? Friday, Monday. I forget. I graduated already. Today was a holiday, right?
Yeah.
With that specific Wednesday, we had the team battle. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back. Not necessarily get back at the players because they didn't do anything. We didn't play. We have no history. But I was gonna get back at myself. Like, I didn't perform up to par. So that was like, they dubbed that team battle like the Hwoarang battle. But I was like, again, it's like you have to give credit to like my teammates there because the second half of the team battle was mainly them. They didn't play that many games. Like as soon as I got my turn in the first set, it ended with me. So in a team battle, it becomes advantageous if the other team doesn't see the other 2 players from your team, right? So they only saw 3 players from our side, and then we got to see all of their cards. So now we have 2 cards to play with in the next round, and they took games in the next round, and the guys who played earlier in the first set were able to bounce back for the most part. I say you have to give yourself credit where credit is due. Like, pat yourself in the back. Like, a lot of players refuse? Or, I wouldn't say refuse, but, like, don't want to give themselves credit that often.
They want to, like,
Because,
stay
like,
humble for, like, something like that?
It's not staying humble or anything like that. It's more like, I suck. Like, okay. Like, what are you comparing yourself to? If you're continuously comparing yourself to the mountain, you're always going to, for a lack of a better term, not be competent or suck. But when in fact you've climbed maybe half of this mountain from where you were previously, like that's what I mean by players not wanting to give themselves credit. I think a lot of players, don't like they don't want to give. It even happens in some Cheese Dojang sets where I'm like, they would say something in chat and I'm like, no, give yourself a pat on the back. It's a far cry from like the first time you've entered Cheese Dojang or Dojang exhibitions. Like, give yourself credit where credit is due because you've put in the work and it starts with you. And if you want to give me credit, okay, but I'm not gonna take that much credit for it because if ever I help you, I only jump started it. You took the helm of like the ship and to like cruise to like the deep seas, the harsh weather. Like to get to where you are. Yes, it's not high level, so to speak, but it's definitely a level you wouldn't have gotten to if you didn't push yourself towards there. That point. That's what I mean by like players not wanting to give themselves a pat on the back because they keep looking at the mountain a little bit too much. Yes, it's the main goal. Yeah, look at all the tiny goals because it's all the tiny goals that you achieve that get you supposedly to the top of the mountain.
I guess if we're gonna talk about mountains, like the best way to compare is like one of those when you do climbing that the nails that you put on that side of the mountain. That's
the
I think
stuff.
that's the things that you've done. Cause like if we're gonna talk about like putting those in the mountain, like you put that there, so it's like
Exactly.
basically the same thing that you're trying to say. You put in the work and you done and it's there, like you've done it, good job, like hey, what's up buddy.
Exactly. You did it.
Yeah.
For the most part, you did.
Yeah. And if that's not motivation, I don't know what is.
Well,
Oh,
motivation comes from many places.
yeah. Oh, I see the chat here. Says secret base is still open. Star Levi was there a few weeks ago. Hey, hey,
Beautiful.
nice. And also, oh, there we go. That might be the word that you were looking for a while ago. Undermining yourself. Is that the right word? You think so?
Maybe you can apply
Yeah.
it there for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, there we go. DJ Fran is motivated. He's gonna turn into a white-haired, blue-coated
So he's gonna
man.
have the blade at the hip, right?
Yeah,
Motivated.
he's gonna he's
He's gonna
gonna
X
open
factor
the
you into this combo.
no, don't I have so much trauma with MBC3 that I like okay, MBC3 is probably my secondary fighting game if I were to choose. Like it's so fun. Like in MVC Infinite, we don't talk about that.
Okay. Same.
But MVC3 was so freaking hype. Like even if I'm not the one who's playing, like holy shit, I don't understand the game. Person, all I know is who's getting hit and who's losing. Like oh god. And when I tried playing MVC3 for a day with people who actually plays the game, I was like, I just packed my bag and like, no, I want my
No.
mommy. I want my mama. Mama!
Minute B.
But it's still fun. Maybe if I played with other people who don't know to play the game, like, yeah.
It's like finding people within the same skill level. Right?
Yeah.
That's the difficult part. Like
Yeah.
as fighting games go by, most especially if it's a legacy title like Tekken, it's gonna be very difficult to find those players within the same skill level because that's when the game's like the most fun and you like,
Mhm.
is it the most fun?
Yeah.
For the most part, I guess it is. For the most part, because again, more or less equal skill level. Would that be slightly above or slightly below, or you're actually sakto, 50-50 equal?
Mhm.
And you also learn a lot more because those situations and experiences are stuff that stick with you. Like, oh, within in this set against this player, I did this, I did that. I could do this more, I could do that more, because it'll actually affect the set. You can advance the game state against a player who's way stronger than
Booey.
you. Yes, you'll see your flaws for the most part, your mistakes, your openings.
Mhm.
But the question is, can you get good enough to like cover it,
Mhm.
or not cover it per se, but like make it not a weakness anymore?
Mhm.
It'll probably take a little bit longer against someone who's too far in skill gap compared to someone who's closer within skill gap. Like you have stepping stones to learn from. As from that's like just one long ladder, one really really long ladder. Like damn,
Damn. Yeah. Huh.
it's high up there, huh?
Huh. So,
Crazy.
Like I try to get some friends that who doesn't play Tekken to play Tekken, and like I think I know how they feel when I play against some of them. I mean,
It's too much of a
yeah,
disadvantage.
yeah. Like so, like who, which is for your friends, like who was the closest friend in the FGC you have currently?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Oh
You wanna be my closest buddy? Can I be your closest friend?
We have the same cheese, though. We got the same slice of cheese.
Yeah, I mean,
know, man.
your IGN is a food. My IGN is a food. I
The
mean,
food is frontier.
alright. I mean, your team is food. My team is food.
Ah, you're right.
See, I can be a lonely mommy. Mama.
Baba Booey.
Yeah, you know, um, what, but what kept you going, right? Because it's impossible to like keep playing and have like be fully motivated to keep playing the game. Because for me, I've been in like I've been having slumps like for that spans for like a week or two, even to a month, to the point that I don't want to play anymore. But I don't know why I keep playing it. So I want to know your end now. What keeps you going to keep playing, and yeah, what's basically your big motivation?
So you're a League of Legends player. You play the game even if you don't like it, huh?
Oh no, it hits hard. I do play League of Legends, but not recently now because it's League of Legends. Mama, help me! He's taking League in here.
Well, it goes back to like equal finding players within the same skill bracket, right?
Uh-huh.
Because if you're playing players who are too strong,
Mhm.
yes, again, you can find out what you're not good at and whatnot, but you won't know if you're improving for the most part.
Mhm.
Yes, the other player can tell you that you've improved, but it doesn't feel like there's no actual results. There's no difference in performance. That's what I meant by like, players, as Edward put it, undermining themselves because they
Mhm.
can't see that improvement. That's why you need to always play you need to play randoms because you won't find that skill bracket easily.
Mhm.
Just you seek them out. Like, hey, I'm looking for mid-level players. Like you put it specifically like that, or like beginner players.
Mhm.
So I remember playing Tekken a lot in arcades, or well, when my family goes out to Alabang Town Center, ATC Town, whatever you want to call it, and I would spend my time zone money, whatever they gave me, like $500, $100.
What? What did they give you that much?
Not all the time. So
No,
it becomes really easy to spend all the money fast, most especially if you're playing a game like Tekken.
Mhm.
So in Tekken 6, I remember that was when like people were always lining up. It was crazy.
And that was like 20 pesos a game. I don't
Oh,
know at
cheap.
the time.
It was cheap. It was cheap. $20, at least for time zone. It was
Yeah,
$20.
for
That's what I remember.
Yeah, time zone 20 pesos do be cheap.
And you could go through 100 pesos
Like 5
fast.
games.
That's 5 games.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say the person sitting down there is nature lover. Oh, you're gonna go through that 5 games pretty
Yeah.
fast. Okay.
Definitely.
And let's move it to tag 2. The player I played a lot there was like Stone Cold. And tag 2 was more. Well, it was expensive at one point. It's like 50,
Yeah.
and then it dropped all the way to like 25,
I think
30.
the last
Somewhere around.
price I've seen is like 35-ish.
Yeah, somewhere around that number.
Yeah.
Tekken 7 was more expensive at the
Yeah,
start,
it's like
and then it eventually
50.
simmered down. It's too much. So, yeah, having those experiences playing those players because they would dominate, without a doubt.
Mhm.
I would go through my money really fast. So what's the point? And that's different from like today's age, right? Where
Yeah.
you're playing on the internet, everything's free for the most part. If you're playing a free game, and a lot of the big titles are free games, you don't necessarily need the cosmetics. You can get the cosmetics if you want to,
Yeah.
but for the most part, you can enjoy the competitive aspect or whatever aspect of the game free.
Mhm.
So here you are spending money, spending time while your parents are busy doing something else. They're like, okay, we're gonna be doing something. We'll call you. We'll call or text you when we're done. So you don't know when that's gonna be, right? You went through your 100 pesos or your 500 pesos already because you blew it all on tech. So for the most part, what are you doing in time zone now? You're just standing there. So sometimes you'd even walk out of time zone. You stare at like the plaza, the main hall, and you're like, they calling yet? They done? You look at your phone. So it gets, demotivating.
Yeah.
You lose morale at playing
Yeah.
the game. Like, what am I playing this game for? Now, of course, mind you, I didn't know how to play the game.
Mhm.
As compared to those players,
Mhm.
they've already studied it. They've been playing since Tekken 5, Tekken 4
Mhm.
competitively. So there's a major disadvantage to me as a player who likes the game. I like the game, but I can't find anyone within the same skill level. Because arcade's a free for all. It's king,
Yeah.
king of the hill.
Yeah.
So I kind of quit playing at that point. I was like, okay, they're gonna give me money, right? But they're like, hey, you can go to time zone. You spend the money, that allowance we gave you, right? Okay, fine. So I would look at Tekken. I would double check to see if they were there. If they were there, I wasn't playing.
Uh-huh.
And if they weren't there, it was a 50-50 if I was still gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say I pop it in, right? And then they come back.
Uh-huh. And they're like,
I'm
oh
like,
no.
there it goes. There goes my money, right? And I don't get to spend more time playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difficult part. So it's like just getting my ass whooped constantly and losing money at the same time while being forced to wait for a longer period of time
Yeah.
with that salt. I didn't like playing the game anymore. So I only played it at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like wake up early in the morning to play online because our internet wasn't as fast as it was today.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be able to stream.
Yeah, the
Play at the same
ISP
time.
gods were not gods before.
They were not in our favor at all, man. They were like 3 Mbps.
They
Sometimes
were
dial-up.
ISP humans. IC,
They were
ISP pawns.
demigods. They were
IS
demigods
pawns.
before they became gods. So that was the only time I could start learning the game because now I could play for free. And supposedly with the rank system, I get players within the same
Mm-hmm.
bracket.
Yeah.
And I got really lucky again because I met a player who was connected with so many other players and he brought me into his group. And in that group, Boo Fox was part of that group.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of experience playing against these players.
Mm-hmm.
And during Tag 2, like the later parts of Tag 2, that's like when I kind of quit playing Tekken already.
Mhm.
It comes to like the right group of players that you play with that help you stay into the game. And for the most part, just like as I mentioned with FGC Fridays and the tournaments, it's that social aspect that keeps you coming back for more. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be like a competitor and going for the W.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long that could sustain you because you can only keep going for the win how many times, and you're not going to win all the time. As other players have said it before, I'm just quoting them, paraphrasing it for the most part. Every player will have their season, but they're not going to be dominant forever. So if you refer to our scene, you're going to see that Dojin had a season where he was unstoppable. AK had a season where he was unstoppable, and then another season rolls out, and then now it's Jules, and then another season rolls out, it's another player, and so forth and so on and so forth, right? Nationals rolls out, it's different players again, right? So you're not going to be number one forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets difficult for the most part. So if you're going to continue striving to be number one, I don't know how long that could last you. It's for me, it's surrounding yourself with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Like group of players that you enjoy playing the game with, because you're gonna play a lot of people in the scene.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean you're gonna hang out with all of them. You're gonna
Yeah.
be close friends with all of them. No.
Mhm.
Yes, you all have a shared interest in playing Tekken, but they're not the ones who are fully keeping you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it would be more that aspect of it, the social aspect, and finding those people that click the best with you. Like continue playing the game. Because when I came back after quitting, I was losing all my money. It was those group of guys, Tag 2
Baba Booey.
online. I think I remember a couple of their names. I think it was like Jasp,
Mm-hmm.
Boo Fox.
Boo Fox.
It's like around 6 to 7 players. We even had Jet Mishima join some of these sessions
Really?
sometimes. I even met some Singaporean players. I got to play with someone from Europe. I don't even know how that even worked.
With 3 Mbps.
Yeah, yes. And our connection, on the lobby, right, was like 0 bars. But the game was running like it was a 4-bar match.
Really?
I was like, okay, that's some magic. I'm not gonna bother trying with this, but okay, it works with him. It does not gonna work with another player. All right, I'm not gonna ask any questions. I got lucky there. Those guys helped rejuvenate. What I loved from the game to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
That brought me back. Starting to learn the game late Tag 2 and early Tekken 7, and then my brother helping me out and getting connected with the scene by talking to Pika and Gold Standard help, push that even further. So it becomes like more of less about the game. It's about the game that connects the community.
I see. That's wow. Applause to you, my man. Applause. That was so good. That was so wholesome. Hey, Waffles, shoutouts to you. Nakita ko lang na biglaan eh. Oh, damn. Wow. It's like things that you can say for FGCs, things you can actually say for like any real life scenario. Like, it's like basically say home is where the heart is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, wow. Some more motivation from the cheese. Not only is he good at Tekken, not only is he good with Hwoarang, he's good with life. There.
No.
No. I was about to say, I hope everyone does.
If I was good at life, I would have gotten my job by now.
Oh, really? You still struggling with it? Or do you want to not talk about it?
For the most part, I've said it a couple of times on stream.
Mm-hmm.
I have been applying a lot.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, if I do get it, do expect like still a term for it. Like, I'll be cutting a lot of the slack, or like, okay, English, it's not working right now. But
pwede naman
basically,
Tagalog if you want.
no, not it's not even Tagalog. Like, I can't find the right word for it at the moment.
Ah.
But like, my time spent. There you go. My time spent on the Frontier page would like decrease by a significant amount. Like, if I'm able to get a job, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna become a hard balancing act. But a lot of players within the scene have been able to balance it. So
Yeah.
it's more or less like being able to copy from their example and learn what works best for me when that time comes.
Yeah.
So if you wanna believe in God or like destiny or whatever, maybe he's keeping me
fate.
here for, or fate, like whatever floats your boat, right? Maybe he's keeping me here for whatever reason. Maybe it's a sign, or maybe it's another sign that doing this thing means this, or like maybe it could be a stepping stone doing content for Tekken somewhere else. Like but it's like, how long can you keep doing it, right? That's one of the other things, like why I kind of quit playing Tekken early, and probably somewhere in between while I was competing, because how long can you keep doing it when it's not fulfilling any of your priorities? Now, of course, for your mental health, yes, it is a priority.
Yeah.
Like, it keeps you happy, you enjoy it. What about actual needs?
Yeah, I know how that feels.
So I remember when another player was asking me, like, to train them, coach them personally. I haven't coached a lot of players personally. I've given more like the stuff you see in free VOD review, like
Yeah.
on the Hwoarang Academy,
Yeah.
or like offhand feedback on Cheese Dojang or Dojang Exhibition. But I remember this player also didn't have a job like me. And I was like, what's your situation like? Because priorities first. Tekken will always be there. And just like, but you like, the concern was, what happens if they stop playing Tekken 7? Well, look at Tag 1. They don't stop playing that game.
Yeah.
They've sort of like meleeed the game, right? You like Smash Melee. They
Yeah.
didn't stop playing the game. So people, there's still a scene for Tag 1. You just gotta find them.
I think
And-
there's like a lot of people like posting on Tekken Philippines group, like looking for players for Tag 1. Like,
Yeah,
it's
specifically,
still, it's
right?
still buzzing.
That's the point. So like, it's not gonna leave. So even if people stop playing Tekken 7 will still be there. Or if they go to Tekken 8, there might be some leftovers in Tekken 7. Like, your priority comes first. You have to balance that out. So you have to make the search to fulfill the need first, while learning about the game slowly but surely. And eventually he was able to secure that part. So I'm really happy for him. And then he can now speed up some of the game processes. But for the most part, there isn't that much for him left to speed up, because he's already at the starting point of high level. Of course, there's a lot more to work on to get to even a higher level. But for the most part, that time spent in between before getting that, before fulfilling the need, was well spent.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can like focus on the other meat of the game while the need has already been fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like for every person, it's gonna be like different circumstances. You have to play it with the cards you got. Again, I'm lucky that I don't have to. That I'm not struggling on that need yet, but it's still on the back of my head as a priority.
Yeah.
That's why I'm applying
Yeah.
left and right,
Yeah.
right, constantly.
Honestly, like I'm about to be to be looking
I mean-
for you. I'm like, oh come on, I can't. But I
It's
have
part
to.
of it.
Like, does it give you like some kind of like big pressure on you? Like maybe in terms of your family, like sabi like, oh, you what wala ka pang work or something like that. Does it give you that kind of pressure, or like people around you understands your situation right now and they completely support you?
Well, I can't speak for anyone else. I
Yeah.
can only speak for myself in this
Yeah.
one because again, your circumstances are going to be completely different.
Yeah.
I'm lucky again that they are willing to support. Like I remember telling them on graduation, it's like, "What's your plan?" Now, unluckily, we're all stuck at home. So even if I say, "Let's do the esports thing," right? I prepared myself all throughout college to get to a certain level, and like let's say playing, commentary,
Mm-hmm.
small form content, not the long form
Mhm.
content that I'm doing now, but I was more or less prepared. Like my resume is decent enough to like
Mhm.
apply to other teams
Yeah.
or even potentially get scouted by one or do it myself, right? Go
Mhm.
all in.
Mhm.
So I was like, we're gonna be stuck at home. You know what? Let's do it anyway. So that's why I was able to get I applied to the Crimson Wolves esports group.
Yeah.
Team, not group, team. And then that
That's the one
Graded.
from Cavite, right?
it's all in the US. It's in the US.
Ah,
Baba
US
Bowie.
Crimson Wolf.
Yes.
Oh, that's I'm thinking of
It's
a different
team.
wolf. I'm
Different team,
thinking
different
of a different wolf.
That was Steel Wolves, right?
Yeah, still wolves. That's what I
Steel
was
Wolves.
thinking.
That was Crimson Wolves.
Uh huh.
And then that became Apple Esports. And I stayed with them for a while until I was like, I'm not giving them that much value, and I wasn't feeling competitive anymore, for the most part.
Mhm.
Because you're on board as a competitive player, and since I wasn't competing in a lot of online tournaments, I was like, I felt like I was doing a disservice.
Mhm.
So I was like, mainly my stand is because they were like, you could come back if you want.
Mhm.
But since like you all know, I don't play. Ever since whole cheese dojang, whole open Hwoarang lessons, road to blue cheese, I don't play the game. I only
Uh-huh.
play it when I'm on stream. Well, I'm playing it now because I need to get the ranks back.
You got
Apologies.
to.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say apologies if I meet you in ranked because I'm gonna be on Hwoarang. That's gonna be full course.
I won't have any problems because we don't. I try to snipe you so many times, but I can't get it. So I don't have to worry about that.
Because I'm gonna be speed running it for the most part. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be taking a lot of the games seriously. So even when I get back to Anna and Leroy, I'm gonna try to make sure that's faster than the actual speed in Road to Blue Cheese. So I'm gonna be in shape, sort of, not by choice, but because of the save file. Because I don't want my starting point to be really far. Because
Yeah.
Road to Blue Cheese starts around Byakko.
Yeah.
That's like the bonus you get for hitting Yaksa. I know if you hit the Ryujin, you get Seiryu, so I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push my Hwoarang back to Ryujin.
Mhm.
I don't want to start at Overlord. That's where I'm at right now. I hit Divine
Yeah.
Healer. Yeah, my bonus is Overlord. How fast can you do Road to Blue Cheese with a character you don't know how to play in 4 streams? How fast can you hit Fujin?
Oh,
It
what?
takes long enough from Red to Ruler to Fujin. It's long enough in 4 streams. What more if I push it all the way from Overlord? What more if I push it all the way from first Dan? I was like, no, I can't have that. So I need to get that bonus back ASAP.
I really think that could be doable, like super fast if people would just keep on rematching until
It's
someone
part of
gets
online
promoted or
matchmaking.
demoted. Like, because there's always I think this is now like what do you call this? Unwritten rule na you can leave when someone gets demoted or promoted.
No, that's deathmatch rules. That's basic.
That's it, yeah. Or that's a written rule, huh? I thought it was
I mean,
unwritten.
Even in arcades, that was like the basic rule. Like a deathmatch
yeah.
typically ends on a promo or a demo. So that's like way, way, way back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you can continue the deathmatch. Like, let's say you're a marauder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm at negative points and you demote me, our deathmatch can still continue because we're marauder.
Mm-hmm.
We're like literally the same rank.
Yeah.
Or let's say you promote from marauder to fighter and I'm still at marauder. We can still do a DM for the most part. And since we didn't really know how the point system was, we had a good idea of it. 2 ranks away was fine
Mm-hmm.
until you learned the actual, the updated point system they put in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
2 ranks away is like, all right. It's like, all right, fine. 500 points, 400 points. Okay.
Sometimes minus 650
like-
for one, and then I gain
Yeah.
1, 2.
You only gain 1, 2, or sometimes you gain 500 and you lose more. Maybe you lose 550. So +2 was okay before.
Mm-hmm.
You could still do it now, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But like promo demo, at the end of promo demo, that's when a deathmatch typically ends.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going online matchmaking, right? You know what you signed up for.
Yeah.
It goes past like any game. It's not just exclusive to Tekken or any other
Yeah.
online fighting game. It's everywhere. So you know what you're expecting when you enter online matchmaking. There are gonna be people who are gonna rematch. There are people who are going to leave. There are people who are gonna do things you may not like, whether that be key charging if you don't like that, corpse hitting, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's like that training ground. So even if a person leaves, it's no different from Tag 2 one and dones then, right?
Yeah.
Because there was no rematch in Tag 2.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a rematch in Tekken 6? I'm not sure. I didn't play Tekken 6 online.
Tekken 6 Online, I don't think they have it.
Then you're going back to a one and done. So it's actually no different. So you have to learn how to jump from match to match. And it's the same thing with arcade. Every player, if it wasn't a death match, was playing at least 1 or 3 games. And of course, depending on the time zone had on like the arcade machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 games, and then after that you swap over, right? Not unless it was a death match, because they couldn't do anything about that. That was the unwritten rule between players for the most part. So you're already being prepared to handle another opponent, whether it was a good design choice or not. But it's like the same thing with a tournament. After your first to 2, you're playing another first to 2.
Mm-hmm.
So just like online, after your first to 1, you're playing another first to 1. And Tekken 7 online, when it first dropped out for season 1, it was a first to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it wasn't even a first to 2. It was 2 games online, period.
Really?
So you rematch. It was technically a first to 2. So you could play a first to 2, but if someone won 2 straight, that was it. So it was already, getting you. They were already training you, so to speak, for tournaments. But of course, eventually they're like, let us do death matches. So they're like, okay, only death matches. Put in.
I wish they could just turn that into their tournament mode. Like, it's always race to 1.
Oh, tournament mode. I only completed that so that I can get the achievement.
But it's more fun than lobbies because, there's like people playing at the same time. But there's a certain amount that. So yeah, you were about to say something. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
I wasn't really gonna say anything, but you'd pay money to get coached by friends.
Oh, yeah.
That's what free VOD reviews for. That's what Cheese Dojang's for. You're already going through it as we speak.
Don't give me. I give you the cheese, but don't give me the cheese.
And we also play off. We can play sets off stream. You just have to let me know ahead of time, because I remember before, back in season 2, I was playing a lot of sets, not just the online ranked or online quick match. I was playing a lot of sets, because a lot of players would always be asking for games, whether that be first to 5s or long sets. Yeah, you spend a lot of time. I think I saw a clip of Kobe Bryant talking about training.
Yeah.
And he said early out in the career, not early out in the career. He said the earlier you spend time training, the farther you're gonna get. It's like comparing it, like, I wake up at 10 a.m. That means I can start training at 12. And you do it for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to rest. You have to let your body recuperate, right? Because physical sports are far more demanding than... Because you're using your whole body, right? For the most part, with esports, you're mainly using your arms, your fingers. But of course, exercise has been proven already to help with esports performance. So, highly recommend that you do some light exercises while getting good at any game, so to speak, whatever whatever choice of game you have, right? For as long as it aligns with your main goal, like if you want to be competitive. So, and he said that. So after you rest, right, you do another one. So let's say you rested, so 12 to 2, you rest for an hour, you spend another 2 hours, another 2 hours, another 2 hours. So it's like, how many times did I train within that day? And he's like, okay, what if I wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and then do it? So now he has longer training times. And it's like, he just say you do that for over a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Look how much
You're gonna
training
you're gonna be far ahead of the pack.
Yeah.
Like really, really far ahead of the pack.
Yeah.
So in his words, regardless of whatever crazy training they do on that off season, that summer, it's gonna pale in comparison to everything you've already accumulated. Of course, that's time spent. Yeah, it's quality time spent, right? Like you're spending the time with purpose. You can't just keep playing the game. So there are a lot of players who just do keep playing the game, and they're like, "Where's the improvement?" So again, for me, the question I'd ask is like, "What's your main goal? You here to play the game for fun, or you here to like actually get good?" And get good could mean a lot of things to other players. Maybe that's getting TGO. Maybe that's placing top 8 in the tournament. Maybe that's placing top 32, 16, 64 in the tournament. Maybe that's finally beating your rival or beating a character matchup, right? So you have to align it all with your main goal.
Yeah.
And spend that time with purpose for the most part, because it's like getting a KBD. Players are asking like, is this a requirement? It's not. I don't know who said doing a KBD is a requirement to get good or perceived good, like you're perceived as a really strong player. Because knowing when to backdash at the right time is far more important than just mindlessly backdashing, right? Knowing when to sidestep is better than just constantly stepping towards the weak side. It's like knowing when to apply said knowledge is far stronger than being able to just simply execute the thing that looks like it's good. It's good because these players know the purpose of it. They're not doing it simply because it's strong. That's when players start asking, why does my down 3-4 of Hwoarang not hit the same as like the person I'm watching? Let's say I'm watching Hwoarang or Rest or any other top Hwoarang player for that matter. Why does it not hit the same? How come they don't respect the frames? Or like they're not afraid of the situation, they don't second guess. It's because you haven't fully understood or like learned the power of down 3-4. You're just pressing down 3-4 into an option. You're not pressing down 3-4 and then the opponent's like... That's why you get, right, if you play another Mishima or like another player, let's use again our scene for the most part. You're gonna fight, let's say, Loki's Jin, U's Jin, Hajime Rain's Jin, Jules' Jin. All different, right? Same thing. Every character can be played in a different manner. Whatever slice of cheese you may prefer. Each of these players have something special. And their F4s are going to operate slightly differently. Yes, the options are all the same. We're all using the same options. The way they use their F4 into their main game plan, their main objective, have different weights and impacts. So maybe against one of them, you can interrupt F4 a lot. Against another player, for some reason, even if you know frame-wise that you can interrupt Zen with a 13 frame mid for the most part, and if it catches Zen too, all the better, you suddenly don't, because he Zen cancels like crazy, so you never know. It never registers in your head. I need to press DF1 here, or like interrupt him, or you're like, okay, he's gonna F cancel, right? So I'm gonna like maximize my frames. I'm gonna go for a down D4 after his F4, and then he surprises you by going for the full option.
Yeah,
it's like,
I think it was Zen 1+2, right?
Zen 1+2, Zen 1-2, whatever it may be, whatever's faster than the option you're pressing on that situation on block. So it's like understanding and having the weight is, it's what we say, the weight of the move. His God Fist hits different. His F4 is really strong. You gotta watch out for it. And that becomes player strengths now, not just a
Mm.
character strength.
Mm.
So it's like getting to that point instead of just like pressing an option on paper. Like, yes, Hwoarang down to e4 into RFS d4 is strong. Yes, on paper it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it could also be really, really weak because that's all you're doing. Or like you don't get what to do in that situation for RFS d4 on block. Because you're just like, oh, it's a safe mid counter hit launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that going to advance the game state though? You know, there's like
Yeah.
a lot of factors to consider. Like how you get there is going to be like your personal journey. That's why you shouldn't, miss those small things you poke towards the mountain. 'Cause it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna create the weight of that, that move
Yeah.
for you.
Mm.
Which
Wow.
you did, by the way.
Look at Frontier, such an inspiration.
What
Look
an
at him.
inspiration.
What an
Launch hunt
inspiration.
sweep.
Oh my god.
Fantastic. The wall standing for. Oh no.
Wow.
Please coach me how to be a chick boy. I'm not a chick boy, so I can't give you any advice on that. You have a star though.
Oh shit,
I believe,
thanks,
I believe
Jesse.
two people
Yeah,
have set stars.
so my buddy Aries, what's up, man? 99 star sense. Thank you, my guy. And also Boss Chester or Chistier, as people know him, or Cornetto man. Like, thank you for the 10 stars. So thank you guys for stopping by. Again, this is Frontier, and so far, like, everything's been so chill, and we get to learn more about him, and also even learn more about the game, and also the proper and uh, other ways to make a better mentality with the game. Honestly, I appreciate what you just said, because, like, I, as I mentioned, I was in a slump for weeks now, not just in the game, like even any other aspects of my life. So parang, like, it's like a good motivation right now for me, and even for everyone here. With that, we really thank you, and even for coming up here. um I guess that would end this episode of the Brownie Tray. Again, um this is with Frontier, and please catch him live later for the cheese exhibition. Is that still gonna go through
Yeah, it's
later?
gonna push through. It's gonna push through tonight.
All right.
So
Mhm.
yeah. And no
Alright.
problems, man.
Well, at least you're just gonna commentate this time. Like, you're not gonna play like your last stream. Like, you were so tired. We can all
I
feel.
had a good sleep
I can
yesterday.
see. I can.
Really, really good sleep.
Dude. All right. So before anyone leaves, I'll be showing you something for the next episode. Um but before that, do you have anything to say? Do you want to give some people some shout outs, or people to thank, or anything you want? The floor is all yours.
Well, I'd like to thank the community, the Tekken Philippines community, because this is the community that I grew up in, that raised me to become the player that I am. And it's more about like me giving back to the community that raised me. So I thank the community for welcoming me and at the same time allowing me to help the community back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. And the
Not much to say.
community thanks you for everything you've done so far, like teaching people how to some people to play Tekken. I think there are some people who got into Tekken because they were watching you. I will not mention them right now, but there are some people, though the only reason why I can't mention them because I don't know who they are.
Hey, some people did get into the game because of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm like, cool, all right. But I don't know who they are though. Oh, all right.
but
It's like-
but really, it's just like, I just saw their names once and I kind of forgot who they were. It's like, I think I just saw them like in Twitter once. Someone was, I don't know if you know that person. Neither do I, but I can't remember his Twitter handle. He shared one of your videos. I don't know what video was that, but he said I'm a pick up Hwoarang now because of
No.
this.
Made a mistake.
It's the same as with Brian. Like the first advice I give to people who wants to play Brian, I say, you don't. It's
You-
you don't. It's for masochists. I'm a lost cause.
Well, I mean, for the most part.
All right. Thank you, Frontier, again. And also, for everyone, please stay tuned. I will be showing you for a preview for the next episode. It's been Frontier, and it's the cheese, and it's your boy
Cheese.
Brownie, and we out. Peace.
What? He doesn't even try to break it. Oh, this is cheese, dude. Yo, what? What kind of cheese is that, dude? Oh, that is so weird. Wait, I'm gonna try something.